PJ Morton was definitely somebody who pushed me and helped me grow in my artistry. Like when I was coming up in the Atlanta musical community, he was one of the artists there. He was just he wasn't just making his start, but he had made waves. He had this album called Freestyle Nation with some of his college mates. And so that was kind of circulating around Atlanta, and everybody was like, you have to check out PJ. You have to check out PJ, his Paul Morton's son. He's awesome, he's amazing, he's dope. And then I heard him on the radio. I was like, this is cool. I've never heard anything like this. So the more and more I started hearing him, I started running into him in the Atlanta circle, and then we just kind of became friends, and he became an inspiration of mine, and then we kind of grew into peers, because at that time I was still kind of trying to find myself as an artist, and I was still, I was very introverted, and I rarely wanted to sing in front of people and just have like all eyes on me. But he was one of the people that kind of helped me because of what he did, and so how open he was and how just soulful, and he's just in that thing. Like, I love it. And so we did a lot of collabs. There's so many mixtapes. We have a song called Circles. We have a song called Saying Hello. There's a song on his Luop Not Rum EP, I think, called Mathematics, that I'm singing background on. So there's all these hidden things. And so on my most recent album, Soul Empowered, we have a song called Craters together, and who's written by one of my friends in Texas out of the Rock Boy Fresh group. And so his name is Gordon Walters. And so that was one of my favorite songs that he played me. And I was like, I really like this thing. I could see it being on my record. And I showed it to PJ. He was like, yes, if I can find the time to record it, I'll do it. And I was like, okay. And it literally came down to the wire for him to be on that song. He was in LA recording and touring. So I was like, okay, PJ, I really, really hope you can do this. And so at the last minute, he came through, and so we're there. We were in separate places. I recorded my parts in Atlanta, and he was in LA. So yeah. So singing background for India and for other people, and taking that background role allowed me to see the behind the scenes of everything. It allowed me to be able to, number one, travel the world with an artist that I was already a fan of, which was a blessing, and kind of get to see the places that I wanted to come back to on my own terms. It kind of made me start thinking about how I wanted my own career to go, and like what I wanted to do, and what I wanted my sound to be, and what impact I wanted to have on the world. It allowed me to kind of see a literally behind the scenes view. I got to see people's ups, people's downs, people's mistakes, people's correct choices. I got to see the whole journey of it all, and to have that as like an asset is just like amazing, because it's just like, oh, hey, I can see what you did, and I can learn from that, and I can kind of create my own thing and be more assured when I come of my own artistry. I feel like this is a great time to be a creator/creative person, because there's so many resources out here now that allow your creativity to be seen, to be heard, to be viewed, to be taken in. Social media has its things. We all know what they are, but it also has its pluses, because you get to literally reach the world with the press of a button. And so you can control what you see, you can control what you intake, you can control what you put out there. And if you are for real, like indie, you're calling all the shots, and that's a good thing, because that wasn't always the case back in the day. It was almost like you had to have a record deal in order to be seen, be heard, to be somewhere. But now the creatives are really, really taking over, and I think it's awesome. Success for me is knowing and believing and wholeheartedly getting to see the impact of a vision that I know God gave me. And so whether it is writing books to encourage young girls, kind of giving my life story outside of music, supporting causes that I'm connected to, teaching kids, or, just putting my life out there, like being vulnerable, being transparent, letting people know that I am a real person. I'm not artist all the time, 99% of the time, but, letting people in, and just no limits, no boundaries. Like that to me, just having this like almost transcendental impact is kind of what success means to me. And it has nothing to do with numbers, it has nothing to do with necessarily quantity, but just like, what is the actual impact? Am I living what my purpose is?